A few weeks ago, I wanted to do an experiment for all my fellow ePackers out there and see how much the real cost of completing an achievement was, but I could have never predicted how well it was going to go. Let me show you what I mean. What's going on YouTube, Flipping Out SC coming at you with another new video. And in today's video, we're talking about achievements, again. But this time, I want to take you on the journey of an achievement that I just completed. I want to show you how long it took, how hard it was, and how much it cost. Let's start by talking about the achievement I completed. I decided to go after the Ovechkin Jambalaya achievement where, in order to attain it, one needed to collect, combine, and redeem a full set of Gold Spectrum FX cards 1 to 200. The Gold Spectrum FX is a brand new Metal Universe parallel, which is ePack exclusive. To create the Gold Spectrum FX, you need to combine base cards into the regular Spectrum FX, and then combine those Spectrum FX into the Gold. However, ePack threw in a bit of a curveball with this set, and instead of making all players equal and having to combine the same amount for each Gold Spectrum FX, they separated the players by level. Cards 1 to 100 are the basic level, while 101 to 150 are the stars, and 151 to 200 are the rookies. For cards 1 to 100, you need to combine 10 Spectrum FX parallels to create the gold. But for cards 101 to 200, the stars and rookies, you only need to combine 5 Spectrum FX to create the gold. So, overall, when all is said and done, one needs to collect 7,500 base cards in order to combine the entire set. I knew going in that this was going to be a chore and a fair amount of work, but I had my hopes set high in knowing that with my ability to trade and find good deals, I would find a way to get it done. Now, with previous years of Metal, the base was worth almost nothing. The Spectrum were so easy to attain that they too were worth very little, and getting base cards off of other collectors really wasn't that hard. I knew that adding the gold parallel would change that, but I wasn't sure how much harder it would be, or, for the matter of this challenge, how much that would change the price of the lots of base I was needing. But on April 25th, the day Metal Universe dropped, I started my journey. I started my pricing off low, offering $2 per 100 base cards in the ePack Facebook group. My prices are always OBO, but even with that said, this pricing didn't work so well and I had very few offers rolling in. But I did manage to secure 332 base on day 1 for a total of $7. Day 2 was the day before my birthday, but since we had a wedding to attend on my birthday, we had my birthday celebration that night. So on day 2, I didn't have much time to focus on cards at all, and only reeled in another 185 cards for $3.50. On day 3, like I said, it was my birthday and we had a wedding to attend, so again, I had very limited time to work on this challenge, and I only made one deal for 94 base cards at a price of $3. But on day 4, we broke things open a little bit. Still recovering from the previous 2 nights of festivities, I had all day to relax on the couch and really get to work. I also decided to raise my price, as it seemed others were offering more, so I came in at $5 per 100 base and also started buying different metal trade baits so that I could pursue the trade route as well. On this day, we managed to secure 1,224 base, along with 12 Spectrum cards, which is the equivalent to 60 base. We also had this extremely interesting trade offer of 67 base and 1 Spectrum, along with an SP Legends Brian Leach SP auto for 2 Swayman Young Guns. I'd only picked up the Young Guns the week prior, but I couldn't turn down the Leach, so we accepted and added the value I paid for the Swaymans to the total paid, which, as you'll see, is a common theme here moving forward. The total amount that I paid and traded in value on day 4 was $93, $68 in cash, and another $25 in value. On day 5, we picked up 723 base for $45, and on day 6, we snagged another 501 base for $5. Wait, only $5? You may be wondering, how did I get 501 base for only $5 when I was offering $5 per 100 base?
It's good to have a few friends.
Well, on day 5, we actually met a fellow ePacker who was going for a different achievement. His achievement required all of the Metal X achievement cards, and, via the achievement I was going for, I was going to get my hands on 3 of the cards he needed. Every Spectrum FX full set that I got, I could redeem for a Metal X achievement card from the level 1 achievement, Caulfield, Hughes, or Makar. My plan was to redeem all 5 and sell them, and then put the money towards more base cards. But he asked me if I'd be willing to trade him for base and other cards I could use as trade bait to lure in base from others. He gave me really good value on each one of them, so I obviously accepted. From the first set I redeemed, I got the Cole Caulfield. I then traded it to him for 472 base, along with a Descharnay Young Gun, Askarov Young Gun, 5 Cooley Young Guns, 2 Nestorenko Young Guns, and a Beck Young Gun. On day 7, I didn't pay for a single card, but I traded into each and every lot I got. This included the only lot I added extra value to, as the rest of the trades were using cards I'd acquired above, when I sent a Swayman Young Gun, a value of $15, an Askarov Young Gun, and 5 Cooley Young Guns for 1,097 base cards. With that, I then completed my second Spectrum set and redeemed another Metal X card. I then traded the Metal X card to the same guy as previously for 397 base and the following Young Guns: Yurchek, Askarov, Lundell, Levi, and Bordelot. I then proceeded to trade a few more of the Young Guns from previous trades for another 411 base while spending no more money or value out of pocket. Day 8 was another busy day where I added 826 base for $116 in combined cash and trade value. Most of the value was from a few older McDavid silver foils that I figured I would probably never complete again, so it was best to just move on from them and keep the hunt moving. And then on day 9, I added another 831 base while spending $44 in cash and added value. However, on this day, I finished yet another Spectrum set and attained another Metal X achievement. The gent I was trading for didn't have a ton of base left nor Young Guns for me to trade, so he sent me $33.25 USD in COMC credit after fees. I won't throw that up on the screen yet, but just remember for our final tally later on. On day 10, I felt like I was getting so close, and my family wanted to go to the beach. So we went to the beach and only got 2 deals done for 71 base cards at $6 in value. And on day 11, I knew we were going to finish, and that we did. Completing another 6 deals for 54 base, only the most difficult players like Wyatt Johnson, Matty Beniers, etc., for another $4 in added trade value. Now, you may be saying, what do you mean you finished? You only have 6,806 of the 7,500 base up there. Well, you're correct. A lot of different trades were base for base. Me giving up a few players that were harder to get for bigger lots of players I needed, or small metal inserts for a lot of 10 to 20 cards. And trust me, there were lots of these. So while I didn't document each and every small trade, I did document each and every trade I added value or cash to in order to ensure that we had an accurate representation of how much money was spent in order to achieve this achievement. But finally, after 11 grueling days with heaps of trades completed and even more sent out, I had achieved the entire gold Spectrum FX set and the coveted Ovechkin achievement jambalaya to go with it. So, if we look back at the questions from the beginning of the video, we have our first answer. How long did this achievement take? Well, 11 days. A lot of hours, but only 11 days. If we want to look for the answer to question number 2, we have to look at what we have gained from the achievement and its value. This achievement was awesome to complete, because not only had I achieved the entire set and the Ovechkin, but one thing I kept track of while not really speaking to when I went over the base and the price, aside from the Brian Leetch, was the allotment of cards I had added to the collection via these trades that weren't base or Spectrum. The list wasn't too lengthy, but it included the Brian Leetch I showed earlier, 2 Isamont Young Guns, 2 Nestorenko Young Guns, a Descharnais Young Gun, a Jiricek Young Gun, a Lundell Young Gun, 2 Benoit Young Guns, a York Young Gun, a Dursey Young Gun, a Barry Boulay Young Gun, a Joshua Young Gun, and a Drysdale Young Gun. I also added a mixed bag of cheap metal inserts, and finally a Panarin 2013 Retro that I traded for with my 4th Metal X achievement card. Oh, and I actually didn't trade away the 5th card because the other gent had finished his achievement before I finished mine, so I'll add the Makar Metal X to that list as well. But instead of solely speak on approximate values, I decided to try and sell all of the cards I didn't want to keep, which was basically everything aside from the Leetch, the Ovechkin, and 10 gold Spectrum FX. Before I started the achievement, my main goal was solely to break even, while simultaneously adding a few cards of value to my collection. But when I redeemed the achievement, as you can see here, I was actually the first one to do so. With that being said, I was one of the first to market with the gold Spectrum FX. There were lots of people who had finished 1 or 2 of their favorite players before me, but not a ton of people who had finished players they didn't want to keep and were looking to sell. So for most players, I was the first to market, which is always a huge advantage as you get to set the price. Now, by no means do I try to price gouge, but I had seen a few of the higher end players sell for a fair amount. So I set the cheapest players at $5 while setting a few of the top rookies at $50 each, and everyone else was somewhere in between. The very first sale I made was no more than 5 minutes after posting, and was for Slavkovsky, Caulfield, Jason Robertson, and Elmer Soderblom. The price, $120. And I still had over 186 cards to go. On that very first day of selling, I sold the 4 cards above for $120. Keller, Landeskog, and Rantanen for $20, Myers for $5, Lindholm, Domi, and Riley for $15, Larkin for $10.48, Burns, Aho, Svechnikov, Natchez, Teravainen, and Jarvis for $45.19, Hurdle, Carlson, Meyer, and Bordeleau for $25, Raymond, Sider, and Bergeron for $55, Fogmo for $13.10, Johnson and Hischier for $50, Saros, Forsberg and Yossi for $25, Kochetkov, Zekai, and Nylander for $52.40, Price for $10, Matthew Tkachuk for $15, Jack Hughes and Bratt for $25, Besser for $10, the Panarin 2013 Retro I traded into with the Metal X achievement for $31.44, and the 301 remaining base cards I had in my account for $20. In total, on day 1 of selling, I moved 39 gold Spectrum FX, the leftover base, and a big insert I traded into, all for $547.61. I'm telling you, When I say I couldn't have imagined it going anywhere close to this good, I'm serious, it was actually insane. Over the next 5 days, I kept selling on the Facebook group and moved another 51 gold Spectrum effects for $325.50. I then moved everything over to COMC that hadn't moved yet, so I could try to move it at a very discounted rate. That was back on May 11th, and until today, I have now sold 50 more gold Spectrum effects for $153.71 USD in COMC credit after fees. If we add in the extra $33.25 we got from an earlier Metal X achievement card deal, we've gotten a total of $186.96 USD in COMC credit, and translated over to Canadian dollars is $256.85. Mind-blowing, really. $1,129.96 in sales for cards that cost me approximately $338.49 in cash and value. And as I've stated before, I still have cards left. So I think we've now answered question number 2. How much did the achievement cost? Well, nothing. It was actually extremely profitable and added so much value to my collection. But I just want to state that you should please be aware that not all achievements are like this. I truly believe that this outcome was extremely serendipitous in the fact that the gold Spectrum FX is a new parallel and the price for base hadn't really been set when I started buying and trading for them. I was the first to complete the challenge and therefore the first to market with a lot of these cards. And I happened to meet a friend who was extremely generous with the value of my Metal X achievement cards and with his base cards that he used to help me get along the way. If I tried to do this achievement again, there's no way I could pull off these numbers a second time, but I consider myself extremely lucky that I have gotten it done the way I did. Now, again, I'm not going through the numbers to brag or flaunt what I've done, but to show you, the viewers, how I've done it and that it is completely possible to grow your collection via completing achievements and also possible to profit in sports cards, even if you are in a location of the world where there are no physical card shops and you can't actively ship and receive cards in person. So, like I've stated before, achievements are extremely fun. They can be extremely expensive, extremely time-consuming, but apparently also extremely profitable. It just depends on the product and the achievement you choose. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to the giveaway I announced last video. I'll link that video up above so you can go watch and learn how you can be entered to win, but I'm giving away this SP Legends Gary Cheevers auto. It's super easy and completely free to win, so take a look and go get yourself entered. Something I did forget to mention last video, but I want to be sure to note this time around, is that in the spirit of fostering a safe and fun environment, I want you to know that I will DM the winning comment, but will not ask for anything other than your ePack username, so please don't give out any information, cards, or money to anyone else claiming to be me. So far, I haven't had any issues with this, and I truly don't think I'm big enough to believe I will have issues with it yet, but just to be safe, I want everyone here to be aware. But that's all for this one. Thanks for watching, good luck with the giveaway, and we'll catch you on the flip side.